Let's transition from the college football world to some NBA action. We've got our NBA quarter season awards. Each team has played their first roughly 20 games of the season. So we've got some mid season or quarter season, as I said, award picks based on those first handful of games. We've got MVP, Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and Most Improved, as well as our quarter season all NBA first team selections. Braden, I'll let you get the party started with your quarter season MVP.
Sure thing. One more quick thing to add. We limited this to guys who have missed fewer than 5 games. For the actual awards, you can miss up to 17 games during the year. We figured 5 was a good cutoff for this quarter season award to kind of mirror that. So there are going to be some guys like Victor Wembanyama, Giannis Antetokounmpo, who are left out of these awards, but it's not going to matter a ton other than the All NBA first team stuff. So with that being said, my quarter season MVP is going to be Nikola Jokic. He's once again averaging a triple double, this time with 29 points, 12.8 rebounds, and 11.1 assists per game. It would be just the second season where a player has averaged a triple double and greater than 11 assists. Russell Westbrook did it in 2021, 2022 with the Wizards. Jokic is also shooting 62% from the floor and a career high 43.8% from three on a career high in 3-point attempts. He's also fifth in the NBA in true shooting percentage. And on top of that, the Nuggets are 14-6. They're fourth place in the West, right on the cusp of second, really. And the top 4 players in the NBA in offensive rating are all Denver Nuggets, including Nikola Jokic. And that is basically entirely because of him running the offense. In another season where Jokic and SGA are pretty much neck and neck, at least from an overall holistic resume standpoint, because I think from a purely statistical standpoint, Jokic is lapping him, but at the same time, the Thunder are 20-1, and Shea is sitting out a ton of fourth quarters. I'm going to give the edge to Jokic this time around.
And I've got very, very little to add to that. Jokic is my pick too. I think it's hard to look at what he's done through the first 20 games and not give it to him. Um, his stats last year were ridiculous. He's been better in a handful of categories in 2025. So, yeah, I think he's got to be my pick through the first quarter of the season. Moving on over to Rookie of the Year, Braden. Who is your pick here?
With how hot Cooper Flag's been recently, I still expect him to end the season taking home this award, but for right now, Rookie of the Year definitely belongs to Con Knipple. So I limited these following statistics to rookies who have appeared in at least 15 games in order to filter out some guys who have played either just garbage time or in a handful of games. Knipple leads all rookies in scoring at 18.3 points per game. He is the only rookie averaging more than 1.3 3-point attempts per game. That's shooting above 40% from the 3-point line. Knipple is attempting 8 threes per game. He is also averaging 5.7 rebounds and 3 assists, pretty solid numbers across the board. He has the second highest offensive rating of any rookie with more than 16 minutes per game. He trails only VJ Edgecombe in that category. And in net rating, he trails only Edgecombe, Cedric Coward, and his own teammate Sion James, using that same playing time cutoff. He's third best among rookies in true shooting and fourth among rookies in effective field goal percentage. Any way you want to slice it, Con Knipple is finding a way to positively impact the game for the Hornets, and not a whole lot of rookies are doing that right now.
Yeah, and he was my overreaction in our NBA overreaction episode was saying that he'd be the Rookie of the Year. I'm sticking with it. I'm going with him as well. His stats at the time of me saying that he would be the Rookie of the Year, that was on November 13th, by the way. I went back and checked. He was averaging 16.6 points, 6.6 rebounds per game, and 2.8 assists. The rebounds have gone down a little bit to 5.7, but he is now averaging, like you said, 18.3 points and 3 assists per game. Also averaging just under a steal per game while shooting 41.5% from three. That has gone up. You mentioned, Braden, that once LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller are back, that it might not be sustainable. LaMelo Ball has been back and playing since right around mid-November, and he's putting up arguably better numbers than he was when we were talking about him the first time around. I said it a few weeks ago, and I'm sticking to it. Con Knipple will be Rookie of the Year, so I got to go with my guy there. As far as Defensive Player of the Year goes, Braden, Wembanyama is not included in this. That would have for sure been my pick. But who is your pick for Defensive Player of the Year at this point?
Yeah, since I can't go with Wemby, I'm going to go with Chet Oxtail Holmgren. He's averaging 1.5 blocks and zero point 0.7 steals per game so far. Those numbers don't really jump off the page. The blocks per game numbers are actually a career low by far. He had 2.3 as a rookie and 2.2 blocks per game last season, but the advanced numbers love him. Among players who have defended at least 200 field goals this year, Chet Holmgren is first in the NBA in defensive field goal percentage at just 40.1%, and a lot of those contests are coming at the rim. He is the fifth best defensive rating in the NBA at 101.7. OKC as a team leads the league with a 103.6 defensive rating. The second place Pistons are a full 7 points behind that, and that gap is nearly a full point larger than the gap between the second place Pistons and the 23rd ranked Chicago Bulls. Unless you're a demigod like Victor Wembanyama, who cannot stay on the floor to qualify for this award, being the interior presence on the best defense in the NBA is a great way to win the DPOY award.
I'm gonna go with Dyson Daniels. Obviously, like we said, can't pick Wemby. I think Dyson Daniels has not necessarily been as strong last year defensively as he was, but he's still been pretty damn good. He's averaging just under 3 stocks per game, a little over 2 steals per game. I think too much of the Defensive Player of the Year award has just been the best defensive player on the best defensive team. And that's kind of what Chet Holmgren is right now. And so with Wemby not eligible, I think Dyson Daniels has been the best defender in the NBA, in my opinion. So he would be my pick for Defensive Player of the Year. And then, Braden, our final award, we have Most Improved Player.
Yeah, Jalen Duren is the favorite, but I think a lot of that's just from increased opportunity. He's taking almost 4 more field goal attempts per game this year and is shooting almost 4% worse from the floor. The free throw rate and percentage jumps have been nice, but MIP should go to someone who has gotten better rather than just shooting and scoring more. So I'm going to go with Ryan Rollins here. I've already talked about him during our question of the day a few weeks ago, so I'll make this relatively brief. But overall, his shooting splits are right in line with his career averages, despite taking on a heavier role. And then his raw numbers have jumped a ton. 6.2 points per game last year has gone up to 17.7 this year. The assists per game have gone from 1.9 to 5.8. The rebounds per game have doubled from 1.9 to 4. And then he's doubled his steals as well from 0.8 to 1.6. He's also doing this, most importantly, I think, with a usage rate that isn't astronomically higher than it was last season. His usage rate has jumped from about 18% to about 24%, which is, a fairly small increase, all things considered. His assist and turnover percentages are also a career best. That was something I thought was really a deciding factor here. To me, MIP should go to a guy who has really taken a leap completely out of nowhere, and this year so far, is Ryan Rollins.
Yeah, and it was between him and Jalen Duren for me. I did go with Duren, but I love that pick there. I don't love picking the favorite, but there is a reason Jalen Duren is that favorite. From 2024 to 2025, you mentioned the shooting numbers going up. He is still shooting 66%, despite the numbers being down a little bit there. But he's only playing 3 more minutes per game. He's averaging 7.7 points more per game, 1.5 more rebounds per game, and he's playing the best defense of his career. All of which on a team is 17-4. And I mentioned that as far as DPOY, I don't love just basing it off the team you're on. But when you're a 22-year-old on the best team in the Eastern Conference right now, I think that's worth something. He has really came into his own this year. I was 1 year too early on him in fantasy. He was on my team last year. I could not get him this year. But he is extremely talented. And perhaps Detroit is wishing that they extended him at the start of the season, which they declined to do. But yeah, I think Duren has been fantastic, and he would be my pick. And sorry, go ahead, Braden. Did you have something you wanted to say? Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad. Before we wrap up the NBA portion, we have our first team All NBA selections that we'll briefly run through. As a reminder, position does not matter in this, so you can have 5 guards in theory if you would like. I don't. But Braden, who is your first team All NBA selections at this point?
I've got, in no particular order, Luka Doncic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Cade Cunningham, Donovan Mitchell, and Nikola Jokic.
Yeah, the only thing that I have differently in that is I have Tyrese Maxey ahead of Donovan Mitchell. He's averaging like 32.5 points per game this year, but Donovan Mitchell just went for like 43 last night, I think it was. So good timing on that front. But yeah, I think it's pretty clear at this point who the front runners are for that. And yeah, obviously we have 4 of the 5 the same. So we're in a similar wavelength there.